Hello and welcome to Right Now. The squeeze is on, the screw is being turned, and understandably, people are beginning to feel like the walls are closing in. Austria has made the shot mandatory. Germany's following suit. The Dutch police are firing rubber bullets at protesters. Australia is carting people off to quarantine camps. No jab, no job is now the norm across the planet. A lockdown of the unvaccinated is rolling off the forked tongues of all the Klaus Schwab worshipping lapdog media mouthpieces on the daily now. But these actions are not coming from a position of power, they're coming from a position of desperation. These are not the actions of someone that believes they're winning. Australian politician Michael Gunner went on a rant this week saying that it doesn't matter if you're jabbed or not, if you don't support the mandate, you're an anti-vaxxer. Now watch this and tell me this man isn't rattled. I swear he's about to cry.
Mandate, you are absolutely anti-vax. I don't care what your personal vaccination status is. If you support, champion, give a green light, give comfort to, support anybody who argues against the vaccine, you are an anti-vaxxer, absolutely. And if you are out there in any way, shape or form campaigning against this mandate, you are absolutely anti-vax. If you say pro-persuasion, stuff it, shove it. We are absolutely going to make sure as many Territorians as possible are vaccinated. That is our best protection against this thing. And if you look at the Doherty modelling that's only come out since, that says if you double dose 80 in remote communities, 5 and up, I think you'll see our vaccine mandate is absolutely crucial to protecting lives, particularly Aboriginal lives. And I will never back away from supporting vaccines. And anyone out there who comes for the mandate, you are anti-vax.
State of it. Maybe he knows what will happen to him if he disappoints his masters. The cult is on the ropes, is lashing out like a wounded animal, a petulant child who's just been refused sweets at the checkout. The writing is on the wall. It's a matter of when they fall, not if. They want you to believe that you're alone and that you're helpless. You're not. We're not. Stand firm.
Well, Gareth, there's been a lot of mixed reports in terms of what's actually happening. Considering everything we've ever argued against and warned people about, especially in terms of going after people's rights. People aren't doing anything. People aren't saying anything. And all I've got to say is when apparently George Floyd was hurt, everyone got up all around the world and marched for this guy, right? And that was one individual. We're witnessing a genocide of a whole indigenous race in terms of what they're doing. Now, people could say, well, the vaccine's not dangerous. You could say, well, it is. It doesn't matter. You don't force inject people. That there is criminal. And you don't do it openly, and the government's glorifying.
We've dealt with it very, very, very well. It's been very distressing at times, but, the slander that came my way, I mean, I've been a White Ribbon ambassador since 2011, I think it was, 2012. And, I'm totally anti-violence of any kind. And, but overnight I was painted as a woman beater. I mean, to the point where strangers were ringing my wife up and saying, hey, look, if you need a woman's refuge place to escape to, come and stay with us. Billy is such a dangerous guy. And my wife just said, look, really appreciate the call, but you're completely wrong. Don't believe what you read in the media. My husband is a gentle bear and, wouldn't hurt an ant. And so, and then it just was everything. I didn't pay my bills. I didn't, all this and just everything you can imagine. I was basically called everything except a pedophile. And the force of it was interesting because it sort of began slowly as I gained momentum with the political party, New Zealand Public Party. Getting thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people supporting me in New Zealand. Nothing like this has ever happened before. I mean, I don't like politicians. I don't trust them, never have. And then suddenly this phenomenon began. But as it took off, I mean, seriously took off, we had 70,000 people in our donor and support in our database network. We were the third largest candidate party in New Zealand, and we were heading for Parliament. And boy, as soon as that started to be clear, then the intensity of the slander and the attacks picked up, leading to my arrest 4 months ago when I protested against the harm that lockdowns cause in New Zealand, and there's very, very severe harm.
Well, I joined the demonstration in Vienna on Saturday, which was the biggest demonstration in the history of Austria.
Fantastic.
We heard there were about 200,000 people there. And apparently I have heard the police said that there were 350,000 people. So it was people coming together from all areas, and everyone's standing up right now. And it just goes to show, as I like to point out, how do you know that an awakening is happening? By seeing the quickening of the agenda. That's how it works, because it manifests as a loss of control of the ruling class that is really governing the country of Austria and also governing the entire world system.
It certainly feels like that it's almost lashing out a little bit because it feels like the tide is turning. The polls say in Austria that it's 50-50 in terms of who agrees with the mandate and who disagrees with the mandate. Would you say that was an accurate figure from what you're seeing in the country?
Well, I would never believe a statistic that I've myself not checked.
No.
And the polls is just another indication of the public deception that is taking place every single second of our life. The key point in all of this is that it doesn't matter what the public thinks or what any mass, may that be 70%, may that be 30%, or may that be 99% think. It's about what you think.
I've just had enough of complying out of fear, and it's just I've really felt that there's nothing to look forward to. We're having our rights taken away from us, and yes, I guess I'm making this stand as a human being, as a mother, but yeah, most of all to make sure our children have their freedom. Yes, well, before I made this announcement, we were really struggling to get bums on seats, and yes, especially the film industry, that really suffered as a result of lockdown, because the council's unlawful attempted closure has scared people off. But on the flip side of that, we've got we've got support from all over the country. Like, we've just had visitors come from Dublin to show their support. We've had people driving from Cardiff, Yorkshire, yes, all over the country. So that's been really nice. And we've had such a vibrant, diverse mix of people here. And yes, the coffee shop's really thriving as a result.
Bill Gates has often recommended the book How to Lie with Statistics on his blog. It's fitting because as we head into the dreaded winter period, there's going to be a lot of statistical lies flooding the evening bulletins. Since the beginning of the rollout, many medical professionals, scientists, and even the inventor of mRNA technology voiced concerns about what the winter could bring for those who have taken 2 swigs of the Kool-Aid. How will they hide this if it was to come to pass? Well, 2 swigs now doesn't give you your compliance badge. You need a 3rd swig for that. But as I said at the top of the show, these are the actions of desperation. The people are seeing through it in increasing numbers. Only the willfully ignorant or complicit aren't acknowledging that something doesn't add up. It doesn't add up because the truth wasn't used in the equation. The narrative hangs by a thread. And so to cover up the original skip full of lies, another skip full of lies is loudly reversing up the driveway. But we see it, and we see you.